Beautiful night here in Williamson County for some high school football. Certainly some cooler temperatures all across Middle Tennessee tonight. That just means we're inching closer and closer to the end of the high school football regular season and the start of the postseason. I'm Jill Jelnick. Welcome in a Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. A lot to get to over this next half hour of our pregame show. A lot of big matchups all across the mid-state for Week 9 tonight. We'll take a look at a lot of them, including the one right behind me, our game of the week. Page Patriots hosting the Hillsboro Burros. Page trying to stay undefeated, trying to go to 8-0 on the season. Another undefeated team we'll take a look at tonight, the Ravenwood Raptors hosting their rivals, the Franklin Admirals. More on that game later in the show. We'll also have our FFL forecast, Fox 17, Top 17, and much, much more. But first, let's start with our game of the week. Game of the week features two teams in Region 6-5A, the Hillsboro Burros and the undefeated Page Patriots. Patriots out to their best start in program history at 7-0. That's the best start since 1999, and a big reason why, the Patriots defense. They started the season with a school record 6 straight shutouts. And listen to this, they have outscored opponents in those first 6 games 219-0. The only points the Page Patriots have given up this season was actually last week to Lawson, and it was only 6 points allowed.
Been trying to take it game by game. You know, we didn't want them getting carried away in the scoreless streak and all the other stuff, because sooner or later you're going to give up a point. You don't want to have a complete collapse when it happens. So we're kind of happy to get that out of the way and start another one and see what happens.
We've been playing together for a long time. Coach Temple has really gotten us on our keys, and I mean, we work on certain stuff every day. We do pursuit every day in practice. So I think we just really play together, and we got a lot of experience on the defense. We got a couple new guys this year, but they've adjusted really well.
Brendan Ains and Eric Hazard lead the Patriots defense and are committed to play at Wisconsin and Louisville next year. Now, they are a part of the reason why the Patriots have become a 5A powerhouse over the last several years, and the Patriots have made it to the 5A state title game the last 3 years straight. Unfortunately, they have left each time empty-handed, but believe this could be the team to finally bring home their first gold ball trophy.
Definitely determination from all of us. There's a few of us that's been in at least 2 of the 3 state championship games. I've been in all 3 of them. And like just determining factor to get back there and show that we are the best in the state of Tennessee. I'd put this group against anybody in the state, no matter what division you are. I mean, I trust this group, and that's all there is to say.
It's been really cool to go, but you know, something that I've noticed, we've stopped saying, you know, just get to the state championship, and now our goal is to actually just win it. Like, because we've been talking, like, just that talk just really motivates everybody, and we've been saying, hey, we got to win it this year, not just get back there, you know?
You heard Brendan say it. Making it to 1 state title game is impressive, but 3 years in a row, that's something special for this program. Unfortunately, they have been runners-up each time, but they're looking to change that this season. I'll have much more on our game of the week, including their opponent, the Hillsboro Burros, coming up later in the show. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at another big region rivalry showdown in Middle Tennessee tonight that also includes another undefeated team, the Ravenwood Raptors, trying to have a perfect season. They're at 7-0 right now and welcome in their rivals, the Franklin Admirals. For more on this game, let's send it over to our FFL reporter, Caitlin Miller, joining us now live from Ravenwood. And Caitlin, I know there's a lot of excitement surrounding this one tonight.
Jill, we have another fun rivalry game happening here tonight with Franklin going up against Ravenwood. You can even see the Ravenwood marching band performing behind me. The energy is great out here. Now, both of these teams are very strong defensively, and Ravenwood is the only team in their division that's still undefeated overall. But their coach, Hester, says that they have their 3 toughest games ahead of them for the season, starting right here tonight against Franklin. We also spoke with Franklin's head coach, Josh Atkins, who says that their 3 games for them them are going to be their toughest, including Brentwood last week. And it's going to be a title contender fights with Ravenwood being third in the state for their division, along with Brentwood and Mount Juliet being in the top 10. But he says the focus needs to be on being perfect in all three phases of the game, with no costly penalties or turnovers. I also spoke with Ravenwood's head coach Will Hester, and he said the same thing. Whichever team takes care of the ball and doesn't make silly penalties or turnovers will win the game tonight. He says they have 28 seniors who are really the backbone of the team, 7 of which are already committed to play in college. And Donovan Starr, who was just named the #1 prospect for the class of 2025, is committed to Auburn.
Both defenses have been playing really, really well. Points have been at a premium for both for opponents versus both teams. So the team that has a little success on offense may be the team that comes out on top.
Numbers are numbers, and you just have to focus on the little things. And I told the guys we got to be perfect because with Brentwood we had a loss contained late in the game with the kickoff. We had a punt block early on. We had costly penalties offensively.
And one of Franklin's star players, Thompson King, actually had his appendix taken out earlier this week, and he just told me that he is going to be playing tonight on the defensive side. He will not be playing quarterback, but such an inspiring story, and we actually have an interview with him coming up later in the show, and this game will kick off tonight at 7. Reporting live from Ravenwood, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, time now to bring in the third member of our crew, our meteorologist, Brett Luna, standing by live now. Page High School with more on our FFL forecast. Brett, looking pretty good tonight.
Hey, Jill, obviously out here in Williamson County at Page High School, and I can tell you it's a little bit chilly out here right now. I'm seeing a lot of people walk around in short-sleeve T-shirts. I'm just probably weak in the cold, but it is a little cool out here. But we're not having to deal with any rain. Earlier in the season, with some of these football games have had a lot of rain. Some have just been canceled. Weather out here tonight, absolutely beautiful. So none of that we're going to have to worry about. Temperatures across the area, we're seeing a lot of those in the mid-60s right now. It does feel a little bit cooler. Some areas have recently just dropped down to the lower 60s now. And as we head through the rest of the night, obviously things just going to get a little bit cooler and cooler. Winds, not having to worry about much of a wind. These winds are fairly light. And if you have any plans this weekend, I think it's shaping up to be a fantastic weekend for you. Fantastic weather for all of these games across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky for tonight. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to get plenty of sunshine, and we're also going to warm up a little bit more, but beautiful weather continues. I'll have more on that here in just a bit.
Thanks, Brett. Well, we are just getting started here on Football Frenzy Live. Coming up after the break, we'll check in on that other team in our game of the week as the Burros try to hand Page its first loss of the season. Stay with us. The Frenzy is back right after this.
You're watching Football Frenzy Live!
Welcome back to Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. We are inching closer and closer to kickoff for our game of the week as the Hillsboro Burros will try to do something that no team has done so far this season and hand the Page Patriots their very first loss. Now, that's certainly not an easy thing to do, especially when you consider that the Patriots have only given up 6 points all season. However, I talked to head coach Anthony Brown of Hillsboro earlier this week, and he told me this is a Burros team that is hungry to play on Friday night and also knows exactly how important this game is with just 2 more weeks left of the regular season. The Burros enter tonight 4-3 overall, 1-1 in region play, and that means they're still fighting for one of those top 4 playoff spots and punch their ticket in the postseason. With just 2 weeks left after tonight, the Burros will need to win at least one of their final 3 games to secure a spot in the postseason, and they'll need 2 wins if they don't want to face a number 1 seed right out of the gates.
Next man up mentality. Like you said, our region is very competitive. Page, Nolensville, Centennial, Lawson. All those teams can play, and you have to strap it up each week. So we're just focusing on us and trying to complete and do the little things right.
They're going to come out hard. They're not going to give up at all. It's going to be a hard fight, and if we give it our full effort, I feel like we can take it away from them.
Quarterback Trey Hodges is in his first year as the full-time starter for the Burros, and he tells me that this is a team that has grown in every single game of the season so far. He says they're a very tight-knit group, and he believes they have what it takes to take down the Patriots on Friday night.
This team, we've really come together. All the talent that we have around our outside people, our inside, everybody. Our defense, our offense, everybody likes to work hard. It makes this team really click.
They're going to be a tough team. Defensively, they get after it. You don't get to the state title 2 years in a row with 5A without being a good team. Coach Rathbone's running a great program, good friend of mine. So I appreciate what they're doing and what they've been doing, So they've been the top of this region. So, in order to get where you want to go, you got to go through the top.
Coming up next, we'll go back out to Ravenwood High School as one player fights his way to make it into tonight's lineup. We'll have that story coming up next on Football Frenzy Live.
You're watching Football Frenzy Live!
Welcome back to Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. We are live at Page High School, where the Patriots get ready to host the Hillsboro Burros for our game of the week. Now, earlier in the show, we previewed another big matchup, the Ravenwood Raptors hosting the Franklin Admirals for a big Region 6 6A showdown. Let's go back to Ravenwood for a second, because there was a player who had to work hard to get back in the lineup tonight after a health scare. For more on that, let's send it over to FFL reporter Caitlin Miller with that story.
Jill, we're at the Ravenwood-Franklin game, and a huge story out of Franklin tonight. We're joined by Thompson King. Thompson actually had his appendix taken out this week, and you're wanting to play. You're going to play tonight in tonight's game.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. It's another district matchup against Ravenwood. It's a big game, and I didn't want to miss it. I'm a senior this year, so I'm not going to have this opportunity again next year. And if I feel good enough, why shouldn't I play? So, yeah.
And like you said, Ravenwood's undefeated. Huge game for you tonight, especially for playoff implications. What made you make that decision?
It's just a big game because if we can come out here and get a win, that's great. Going into next week against Mount Juliet, it's a non-district game, but it's a big game overall. And then we have Overton the week after that, so maybe going into playoffs gives us a little more boost going into that.
And Coach said you had your appendix taken out earlier in the week. You were at practice within 24 hours. You were already saying that you wanted to play in tonight's game. He said that says so much about your character, and the team has actually really worked hard, backing you up on this. So what does that mean to you?
It means a lot, especially that everybody's behind me, and I know I got them too. So it's great team camaraderie. So I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, such an inspiring story, Thompson. Good luck tonight. Jill, back to you.
Thank you.
Caitlin, thank you so much. It's no surprise that the Raptors have been in our Fox 17 top 17 since the start of the season with that remarkable 7-0 start. But as far as the other teams go, let's go ahead and bring in MTSU football analyst and host of 102.5 The Game, Joe Dubin, for our latest Fox 17 top 17.
Hi, Jill. It's time for our Week 9 Top 17 Fox 17 High School Football rankings. Now, we do these on a Thursday, so if the games happen on a Thursday, they do not impact our Week 9 rankings. All right, let's go. Number 17, Marshall County. Always rolling. Great program. They come in number 17. Number 16, the Riverdale Warriors. Big game tonight versus Blackman, and a big game coming up versus Oakland, but right now they're number 16. Number 15, the Brentwood Bruins. They're always there, 6-1, another good year. Number 14, Westmoreland. They play some pretty good football out of the country, and Westmoreland, number 14. Number 13, they lost their first 2 games of the season, but one of those was to CPA. But since then, Pearl Cone has been on an absolute tear. Pearl Cone comes in, number 13. Number 12, making their first appearance all year long, Stewart's Creek. All they're doing is winning at Stewart's Creek, and they come in at number 12. Number 11, the Upperman Bees. All they do is keep on winning. Upperman at number 11. Number 10, FRA. Coach Justin Geisinger, since he's come over from Pope John Paul, has done a fantastic job of that program. Number 9, and I love this, they keep moving up each and every week, Clarksville. They're off this week. 2 more weeks left in the season for them. They come in number 9. Number 8, a team that I love all year long because they run the football so well. The Beach Buccaneers, they're number 8. Number 7, the Green Hill Hawks, Coach Josh Crouch, doing a great job. Unbeaten, big showdown in 2 weeks versus Mount Juliet. Number 6, and all he does is win, Ingle Martin and CPA. CPA comes in at number 6. Number 5, the Hasselbeck brothers at Innsworth are doing an incredible job. They're unbeaten. They come in at number 5. Number 4, I've said this all year long, they might have the best roster in high school football. The Page Patriots, also unbeaten. Number 3, big game tonight in Wilson County. Mount Juliet takes on Lebanon. It is the MyTV 30 game. That'll be a fun game to watch because of the rivalry. Number 2, the Ravenwood Raptors. And number 1, all year long until somebody knocks them off, the Oakland Patriots will remain number 1. But next week, Oakland and Ravenwood will play, and that should be one heck of a football game. So, Jill, there's this week, Week 9, Top 17, Fox 17 Teams of the Week.
Time now for our final FFL forecast. Been a nice start to Week 9. Not bad for middle of October. Let's bring in our meteorologist, Brett Luna, for more on the night.
Hey, Jill, it's a little bit of a chilly one out here. I was just talking earlier. I had put my jacket on since then. Some people still out here just in short sleeves, not bothering them. Lower 60s, mid 60s for most of us. I'll show you that here in just a second. As far as any rain goes, we are not having to deal with any sort of rainfall. We did see earlier on in the season, some of those games got really rainy, but all dry still on the radar. Radar not able to pick up on any rainfall going on. Current temperatures, they're in the low to mid 60s now. We have 68 right here in Nashville. Here in Columbia, we're down to 50, or we're in Williamson County right now, but in Columbia they're down to 59 degrees. So for any of these football games tonight, I think it's going to be really good weather, just a little bit chilly if you're still heading out to one of those. Here in Williamson County, we're at Page High School right now. Temperature should be around 60 degrees by kickoff. 8 p.m. we're looking at mid 50s, 9 down to the lower 50s, and then by 10 p.m. we're still in the lower 50s. It's going to stay dry too, not going to have to worry about any sort of rain. The winds aren't an issue, not making it really feel a whole lot colder right now. I'll show you Future Track right here. So Future Track still has us totally dry. If you have any outdoor plans this weekend, it's shaping up to be a really nice weekend for you. High pressure just kind of takes over, and you can see how clear we are. We're going to get plenty of sunshine through Saturday. Sunday will stay nice and sunny too. Great weather. We're going to warm up a little bit as we head through the weekend as well. Temperatures should be around the mid to upper 70s for us. And then for early next week, I think we're going to keep those dry conditions locked in place. Still not seeing any sort of rainfall. A front's going to try to move through on Wednesday. That might bring just a couple of spotty showers, very light, not going to amount to a whole lot, but overall still a very dry pattern that we are in the middle of. And then once that front moves out, it'll bring us some slightly cooler air as we head on into the later part of this upcoming week. I'll show you the 7-day forecast here in just a second, but for tonight, overnight low temperature here in Nashville, we should be down to about 44, mostly clear. There's your weekend forecast. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s for the first part of Saturday, 78 on Sunday, and then we start to warm back up. We'll be in the lower 80s as we head on into early next week. 80 on Monday, 82 Wednesday, 80 Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, we drop back down to the low and mid 70s behind that cold front. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Frenzy. A lot of great Week 9 matchups, including this one right here. It's our Friday Night Rivals game of the week. The Lebanon Blue Devils hosting the Mount Juliet Golden Bears. Oh yes, they were on our Fox 17 Top 17. This game kicks off at 7 p.m. on our sister station, MyTV 30, so be sure to check that out at 7 o'clock, coming up in just a bit. Let's take a look at some other big Week 9 matchups. Riverdale at Blackman, Oakland at Coffee County, Beach at Siegel, White House at Upperman. Upperman Bees, another one of those undefeated teams at 7-0. Then how about the Cane Ridge Ravens at East Nashville Eagles? Smyrna at Stewart's Creek. That should be a good one. Hendersonville at Portland. And Rockville at Pope John Paul. A lot of big Week 9 matchups this week. Now, before we say goodbye, of course, we have to finish the show with just one more thing. Our Fox 17 Fantastic Fans. It's been such a great night here at Page High School. Jill Jelnick, Brett Luna with you, our awesome camera crew. We've been capturing every moment. And Brett, I don't know about you, but as soon as we stepped foot here, you could feel the energy here. Both teams excited for this region showdown.
Absolutely. And I mean, just look over there at their crowd, so many people here.
Also senior night as well. So you have the cheerleaders, you have the band, you have everybody excited, and a lot of family members coming out in the community as well.
Right, and I don't know how you're sitting here in short sleeves. I was over here talking the whole time. I was so cold.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the frenzy.
It's really nice, though. It's great weather for the game tonight. So we really couldn't ask for much better weather. No rain, no bad storms or anything.
It's been a good one. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.